Everyone's trying to get rich, but the smart ones, well, they're trying to get position. See, there's a difference between chasing opportunity and buying real estate inside of it. And that's what this number does, 100 million. Now that's how many Satoshis, the smallest unit of Bitcoin, are inside a single coin. Now multiply that by 21 million, well, you get 2.1 quadrillion Satoshis. Now it sounds like trivia fact at first, but the deeper you go, the more you realise this isn't about math, it's about identity. Because once you see Bitcoin as divisible down to its essence, you stop seeing it as a price tag and start seeing it as a map to sovereignty. Now, if you want to understand more about sovereignty, well, I have something just for you. This is a free course of mine and it's called Sovereign by Design. Now, if you want to come and check this out, what I'll do is link this down in the description below. See, most people miss Bitcoin not because it's expensive, but because it feels insignificant. They hear 1 million Satoshis and think that's nothing, not even one coin. But that's the fiat brain talking. See, fiat made you to believe that only big numbers matter, that wealth must feel heavy to be real, that $1 million is impressive, but 1 million sats is just a trivia fact. Now that illusion is costing people their freedom, because once you realise that there's only 2.1 quadrillion sats in existence, you stop seeing 1 million as small, and you start seeing it as a slice of global truth. Now a digital fingerprint that says, I got in before the world understood what it really was. Now scarcity isn't the issue, perception is. And the people who learn to see value before it becomes obvious, well, they're the ones who don't just survive the shift, they ride it. See, a Satoshi is the Bitcoin equivalent of a penny. But unlike pennies, it's not inflating, it's not melting, it's not controlled by governments. It's finite, verifiable, portable, and unconfiscatable. And that changes everything. Because when you zoom in, past the headlines, past the volatility, past the noise, you start to see the real game being played. Fiat is loud, sats are quiet. Fiat is infinite, sats are fixed. Fiat is for spending, sats are for remembering. And here's the killer insight. The wealthiest people of tomorrow will not be the ones who owned the most dollars, they'll be the ones who quietly stacked the most sats when the rest of the world was distracted by charts. So, let's actually go ahead and zoom out for a second. There are 8 billion people on Earth, and only 21 million Bitcoin. Now that alone should tell you it's scarce. But when you break it into 2.1 quadrillion Satoshis, you realise just how fractional ownership can become. Now this isn't like gold. You don't need a warehouse to store it, you don't need banks to approve it, and you don't need 6 figures to start. You just need conviction. Conviction to take a tiny slice of the future before the crowd realise what it's worth. Because when the normies finally get it, when institutions pour in, ETFs dominate and governments start playing catch up, well, it won't be about buying Bitcoin, it'll be all about who has access to sats. See, let me tell you about a guy named Ellie. Ellie didn't make headlines, he didn't go viral, he didn't shill on TikTok. He just bought $5 worth of Bitcoin every day for 3 years straight. Now no leverage, no trading, no predictions, just quiet conviction. Now he didn't tell his friends, he didn't try to time the market, he didn't even check the price most days. He just stacked $5 every single day. And today, Ellie is a Satoshi millionaire. Now not in the meme sense, but in the real sense. He owns over 1 million Satoshis. And that might not sound like much today, but when Bitcoin crosses $1 million per coin, well, those sats are worth over 10 grand. And the best part, well, he'll still be holding while most people are scrambling to get in. Now that's the difference between noise and sovereignty, between urgency and preparation. Because you weren't taught to think like this. You were taught to measure wealth in dollars, in digits, in possessions. But that's not wealth. Real wealth is position. Position in systems that can't be inflated, position in assets that can't be seized, and position in truths that don't require trust. That's what owning 1 million Satoshis is really like. Now, it's not a lottery ticket, but it's a signal that you see the exit, you see the dilution, you see the shift before the rest of the world wakes up. Because make no mistake, the crowd will wake up. And by then, the price of 1 million sats won't be $1,000, give or take. It'll be $3,000, then $10,000, then $30,000 for a million Satoshis. Then maybe more. And those who laughed at stacking sats today will be the same ones begging for an on-ramp tomorrow. See, if you remember one thing from this video, let it be this. The total supply of Bitcoin is 21 million, but the real opportunity lives in the 2.1 quadrillion Satoshis it's made of. Now that's the new map, that's the new math, and that's the new mindset. Because in a world where they can print dollars at will, you can actually own something truly scarce. Now that's not just a unit of money, that's a unit of freedom. So ask yourself, are you stacking fast enough? Now, if this opens your eyes even a little, don't just click away. Click in. Click into sovereignty. Click into your future. Click into the quiet decision that most people will ignore until it's too late. So start stacking, even if it's just $1 at a time. Because this isn't just money. It's memory. It's meaning. It's leverage in a world where everything else is slipping. So see the sats, own the sats, and stay sovereign. Now, one last time, I'm just quickly going to chuck this in here again. If you want to come and check it out, Sovereign by Design, I'll link it down in the description below. Now, if you've made it this far, and if you're not too sure what to watch next, well, I have this playlist for you just here, which you can go ahead and binge watch if you enjoy watching my videos, or if you just want a quick single little video, you can watch this one just here, recommended to you by YouTube.